Hi, it's me, SinalyRae, and I just randomly got a message. First of all, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here for a while, thank you so much for being here. Let's just get into it. So I'm clearly on an assignment, as you can see. Chef coat, Chef Sinali in the house. Anyway, let's focus. Two things. One, I don't get all these notifications and I don't know why. And I've said that before, and I really just literally saw a comment that said it looks like a lot of blacks are on these ships. I'm not exactly sure what that person meant. I'd love for that person to clarify in the comments that I don't really see. But just keep and everybody keep talking about it until I can see it. I don't know if it's an algorithm thing. I'm not sure, but sir, ma'am, whatever you identify as in this world, I'm not sure what that comment meant as far as a lot of blacks working there, but I'd love for you to consider that if that's something that challenges you, you may want to try and move to Mars or the moon or someplace where there's no humanity at all. If that's a challenge for you. If it's not a challenge for you, then just disregard what I just said. But if it in any way it's a challenge for you, you may want to consider relocating your entire existence, because I don't know what you think, but melanated people actually are the majority of the world. But anyway, I digress. Keep it very respectful in my comments, so when I do see them and that's due to YouTube, when I do see them, I won't have to make that last statement, because this isn't a place for that. Also, some people were asking me to break down the SU duties. I don't know if I've said it in a past video, but this is my first time actually seeing a comment, and apparently it was asked 5 or 6 months ago. Again, I am sorry. I try to be very interactive, but I don't get the information. I don't get the notifications, unfortunately, and I don't know why. So, SU department, you will be under the supply department, which is comprised of supply, hospitality, and logistics. Okay, as an SU, you will have an outline job description, but be advised, at the bottom of those job descriptions it says as directed, which technically means you do whatever they tell you to do. Okay, the only time you can pivot from something that you don't want to do, that's outside of the listed job description, is if you make sure to tell them why. For example, I was on a ship once, or a friend of mine was on a ship once, and they wanted her to stand under a helicopter and do hookups. Now, there are some people that, yeah, that's cool, but if you're part of the tall brigade, such as we, and I mean like 5'8" and above, right? 5'9" and above. I'm taller than that, but 5'9" and above. You don't want to stand. Personally, I don't want to be on a helicopter doing anything. And that's why a lot of people always promote moving up from SU. Listen, whether you do or don't, that's your prerogative. But SU duties, you are the cleaners of the ship. Okay, you are the ones that clean every level, every head, every laundry room. You're gonna clean if the place has a gym, you're probably in charge of doing that, depending on the ships. I'm specifically speaking of AKEs, but the duties itself don't change unless you're on a ship. Okay. SUs get pulled for what's called unreps. That's the at-sea replenishment. So those photos you see where the two ships are side by side and they do the shot lines and he sends cargo or people or fuel from one ship to the other. SUs are on station doing that. Usually they're the signalmen, or they do communications. Back in my day, they made us do both. Okay. And back in my day, there was, I don't know when they implemented unrep school, but there was no unrep school when I got in. So that's something new too. You are either going to be in the dish pit, meaning you're going to wash the dishes, and or you're going to be in the mess decks. So there's two different types of SUs. Well, there's no different type of SUs. There's two different jobs as being an SU, right? You're going to be a messman. Those are morning workers. Those are the people who are in the mess decks. They do the stuff that restaurant people do, like not bus tables, because everybody got to take their stuff back, but some ships you have to serve, but you have to clean up the mess deck, maintain the mess deck, make sure it's clean, make sure that it's well stocked. That's basically it. Cleaning condiments, cleaning the tables, making sure the dishes, everything is in its place, making sure everything is presentable and sanitary. That's primarily your job. Sweeping, mopping, wiping down walls, all that. Day workers. And the messmen generally start at like 5:30 in the morning, and then they have breaks periodically through the day, but they like cooks don't get off until late, so they are the first ones up and the last ones to get off work, generally speaking. If you are a day worker, you don't have to come to work to 0800, and your job is from 0800 to 4. Now these are not factoring in overtime opportunities, with the exception of morning workers, because their overtime is likely built in. You have a choice to come in or not. Like if you're supposed to be at work at 5:30, your regular hours is probably 6:30, but most people come at 5:30 because that's an overtime hour. For day workers, sometimes they'll have something for you at 06, depending on the ship and depending on the steward, just to get you some extra money in too, because nobody's coming out there to work for the regular fee, the regular salary. People come for the overtime. So 0800 is it's from 0800 until 1830 is the work hours for day workers, and they are usually assigned to like rooms, like they clean the rooms, most likely the captain, the officers. A lot of times if you're new, you'll have people like ABs ask you to clean their room. That's not your job. You do not clean AB rooms. Only any ship I've ever been on, you don't do that. Sometimes chiefs can get room service depending on the steward again. And I've been on ships where you have to clean chief's rooms. Some people want you to clean, other people don't. So I got lucky. Nobody wanted me in a room at that time, so I didn't have to deal with that. That was my first ship a million years ago. So you're assigned to rooms and lounges and hallway areas, right? So you'll gotta clean. If your floor has a gym, you gotta make sure you gotta clean that too. If your floor has a laundry room, which all of them do generally speaking, you gotta make sure that's clean and stocked too. The passageways have to be clean. Your landing, meaning the stairrails that you're responsible for, and they'll identify that for you. That has to be cleaned. So basically your one job is to make sure everything is clean. Now they can pull you for other projects. Sometimes depending on the ship, they pull SUs for just about everything. Outside of unrep, sometimes they make you do elevators, which means you have to do elevator training. There are other ships where you don't have to do unreps. Not many. For example, your high-speed fleet, you don't do unreps. It's rare. I'll put it that way, it's rare. Your subtenders, you don't do the unreps. I'm not so sure about the Mount Whitney, though. That is a ship in the fleet. I'm not sure if they do unreps now, but I don't think so, because they're in the Med now, because it's a hybrid ship. So most hybrid ships don't require you to do unreps. Now, what's a hybrid ship? Hybrid ships are when you have military personnel on the ship stationed at most likely active duty. Sometimes they're reservists, but that's kind of what you're looking at. So again, I wanted to address those two things. One, the breakdown of an SU. Do I recommend coming to sea duty? At this point in my life, I don't. I've said that from day one on this channel. It's for you to make your own decision. Are you going to get filthy stinking rich with MSC? No. No. You'll have some captains that come out really well. You got to work for a long time to get to those ranks. And there's, in this climate, there's so many other ways to make money. MSC is not the end all be all. And it's not even the highest paying in the fleet. It does provide a little bit more structure than other companies do, but it's not structured at all, which lets you know what the climate of the industry is. And the comment that person said, it looks like a lot of blacks work there. I'm not sure if that person's black, white, green, pink, or purple, but that doesn't justify a lot of the things you're going to experience out here in the industry. And I have been made painfully aware over and over again of the disparaging things that people go through. To include right now, MSC is offering an incentive program where if you work here or whatever, you refer friends, family, or whomever, and you'll get paid for qualified referrals. Basically, let me tell you something. MSC at one point was hard as hell to get in, okay? It was hard. When I first got in, it was kind of challenging. People were calling, it was rough. Now they're begging people to come here. That should tell you what you need to know about this particular company, okay? Not only are they begging, they're begging the people who work here, who they've wronged and ridiculed and degraded for years. Hey, bring a friend. Like, what? Also, they don't have a good track record with paying people. So they're like, you can get an incentive of, let's say $500. I think it's at $500. I don't know. Baby, they don't even pay their regular salary on time. I could prove it. I have emails where I've had to fight for my money several times over for several different ways. Yes, MSC pays you a lot of different ways, but no, you don't get the money. And by the time you do, it's probably taxed to death, or you've had to fight for your life to get the money that you're owed, right? So don't be silly enough to, but I've seen people come out of retirement because MSC said they were giving $25,000. Ask me, have they got the money? Also, why the hell would you come out of retirement to come back? That's crazy. Anyway, yeah. So I would not believe that they have a challenge paying their per diems. They have a challenge paying their travel claims. They have a challenge paying their S&Qs. And if you don't know what those are, I have a ton of videos that explain that. I would not personally be comfortable bringing anyone in. And ironically, when I first got in, before the climate went straight to hell, I would have brought anybody that wanted it. I would have been like, yo, come out, because it had a different energy signature back then than it does now. So hopefully I've answered that question. If you guys ask a question and I have not answered it in like a couple days or a week, because I try to be really fast, when I see it, just go back under it and just kind of tag my name in it so that I'll see it, because it's not me, it's the algorithm, because I would have said something a long time ago. So anyway, if you're watching this tonight, I hope you're having a great night. I gotta get back to work. If you're watching this day, I hope you're having a great day. Where am I? Who knows? Anyway, I'm SinalyRae, and thank you for being a part of the best part of this channel, and I will see you next video. Bye.